the OSH Act and what you need to know. This presentation is being provided to inform you, our managers, about the law concerning the OSH Act. It is your duty to know these issues in order to protect the company. What is the OSH Act? The OSH Act, also known as the Occupational Safety and Health Act, was passed in 1970 and is administered by the Occupational Health and Safety Administration, also known as OSHA. The main reason for the act was to prevent and reduce workplace hazards and provide safety and health programs for employees and employers. As stated in the act, to assure safe and healthful working conditions for working men and women by authorizing enforcement of the standards developed under the act, by assisting and encouraging the states in their efforts to assure safe and healthful working conditions, by providing for research, information, education, and training in the field of occupational safety and health, and for other purposes. The Act covers most private sector employees within the 50 U.S. states and the U.S. territories. The Act does not cover the self-employed, family-owned and operated farms, and others. These are the basic provisions of the Act. The OSH Act has two main functions: setting standards and conducting inspections. Inspections are required to ensure that employers are providing a workplace free from health and safety hazards. Employers may have to implement OSHA practices and standards in order to provide the safe and healthy work environment. There are four major categories of standards: general industry, maritime, construction, and agriculture. Some standards apply to all categories, and others are specific to one. Some standards include: employees are allowed to access their medical and exposure records. Personal protective equipment must be provided to employees. Hazardous materials must be listed in the MSDS, the Material Safety Data Sheet, and be available for all employees to view and utilize. Employee rights. The Act provides rights to employees that allow them to report a violation, file a complaint, remain anonymous, contest a violation correction time, and participate in OSHA inspections. Posters. There is an OSHA poster that is required to be hung in employee view to inform them of their rights. Record keeping. There are specific requirements for record keeping within the workplace. These records include injury and illness incidences relating to workplace hazards. Most specifically, employers must keep records relating to cuts or needle stick injuries, hearing loss, tuberculosis infections, and any incident that requires an employee be removed from work. Penalties. There are heavy fines and penalties that are accompanied by any violations to the Act, which includes willful and repeat violations and failure to correct a violation.